Some people don't ruin good things because they're reckless. They ruin them because something inside feels safer when things fall apart. No one says that out loud. We call it self-sabotage. We call it insecurity. We call it fear of success. But underneath it, there's something quieter. It shows up as pulling away when someone gets too close, procrastinating when an opportunity matters, starting fights when things feel calm, losing momentum right before expansion. At some point, your system decided that success, intimacy, or visibility carried risk. The mind learned that if something feels too good, it won't last, so it intervenes, not to destroy you, to protect you. This isn't stupidity, it's not weakness. It's an intelligent response that never got updated. And once you see that, you start to understand why willpower alone never fixes it. Most people never realize this is what they're responding to. What I just described doesn't look protective on the surface. From the outside, it looks irrational. Why would someone sabotage the very thing they claim to want? But from the inside, the logic is different. Because the body isn't asking, is this good for me? It's asking, is this safe? And those are not the same question. Imagine someone who finally meets a person who treats them well. The communication is steady. The affection is real. There's no chaos. At first it feels relieving. Then it starts to feel unsettling. They become hyper-aware. They scan for signs of change. They notice tiny shifts in tone. They replay conversations. Their chest tightens during calm moments. Their stomach drops when things feel too good. They might pull back slightly, take longer to respond, test the other person's patience, or create distance before they can be left. Or imagine someone about to launch a project they've dreamed about for years. They prepare, they plan, they talk about it. Then suddenly, they stall, they scroll, they reorganize instead of starting. They tell themselves they need more clarity. And when the window passes, they feel shame. But underneath the shame is relief. Because exposure didn't happen. Judgment didn't happen. Failure didn't happen. There's a type of person who mistakes this pattern for self-destruction. But if you look closely, it's something else. It's preemptive control. Self-sabotage often forms when something meaningful once led to pain. When love led to abandonment, when visibility led to criticism, when success led to pressure, when vulnerability led to humiliation, the system makes a quiet decision. If I ruin it first, I don't have to experience the shock of losing it. It's not trying to keep you small. It's trying to keep you regulated, because uncertainty feels destabilizing. Hope feels risky. Attachment feels like exposure. So the body intervenes early. It creates friction. It manufactures problems. It lowers the stakes, not because you don't deserve good things, but because your nervous system doesn't yet associate good things with safety. Nothing is wrong with you. Something adapted, and it adapted to prevent overwhelm. Here's the strange part. The people who sabotage themselves are often deeply self-aware. They know what they're doing while they're doing it. They can watch themselves pull away, watch themselves delay, watch themselves overreact, and still feel unable to stop, because the behavior isn't random. It's a negotiation between longing and fear. One part of you wants expansion. Another part wants predictability. And predictability sometimes means pain you already understand. Unfamiliar joy is harder to regulate than familiar disappointment. Familiar disappointment has edges. You know its shape. You know how to brace for it. Unfamiliar love, success, or visibility has no edges yet, so the system says, let's shrink this back down to something manageable. That's why self-sabotage often appears right before breakthrough, not at the beginning, right at the edge. The closer you get to something meaningful, the louder the protective system becomes. And if you misinterpret that activation as proof you're incapable, you reinforce the very pattern trying to protect you. The paradox is this: what looks like self-destruction is often self-preservation, operating with outdated data. So the next time you feel yourself pulling away from something that matters, or creating problems where there were none, or shrinking right before expansion. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" you might quietly ask, "What is this protecting me from?" Not to justify the pattern, not to indulge it, but to understand it, because when protection is seen clearly, it doesn't have to be so aggressive. And sometimes the first shift isn't stopping the sabotage, it's realizing it was never trying to destroy you in the first place.